How's it? Today is Monday, August 19th. We are so back with a long video, which means I missed a bunch of lifts today. So today sucked. um, Today was just a snatch day. I started off on the wrong foot. You see here on this note, it says I'm supposed to do 2+1 snatch push press plus overhead squat at 100. For whatever reason, I didn't read my notes until I was already done with my snatches. I looked back and I was like, oh, I only did 95 today. 95 was a weight that I did last week. So I don't know what to tell you. It was just a weird situation. My snatches themselves were, I don't know. Like my body feels like it's not necessarily injured. It feels very stiff. It feels very sticky in situations. But the way that I was lifting today did not indicate that that's how my body felt. Like the weights felt very light, but I just could not put anything together, and I was very, very, very frustrated with myself. Here's my top set of the wrong weight, I guess. But yeah, talking about my snatches, like I think I missed 4 snatches at 90. Yeah, something like that. And 90 is not a very heavy weight. 90 is like 87% or something like that. Maybe less than that now at this point, but like I can power snatch 90. So having that in my hands today and moving the way I was just felt very, very, very strange because I could not, for the life of me, make the lift. And even with the 4 misses, I still ended up making all 10 reps that I needed to, but it just took so damn long. I'm like kind of thinking about what maybe was inhibiting me. I feel like positionally my lower back might have been a little bit kind of varied over the reps, but I think that is normal. I feel like I was starting in a good spot for a lot of my lifts. I just wasn't able to just put it together, and that's really, very, 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 very frustrating to me. One thing that I do think is really affecting me is my shoulder. I think I talked about it on Friday, maybe Saturday, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. But my right shoulder feels very like mobility restricted. It feels like it's sticky. That's like the phrasing I would use. It feels like it's sticky. It feels like I can move it into certain positions, but past that range of motion where I would normally be able to move it, it just slows down a lot. And like pain kind of, it's like graded pain as I move further into that range of motion that's slowing me down. And maybe that is making it so I can't actually lock out my shoulders overhead. But like, even if you look at this was 80. This was like my last warm-up set. I caught that like pretty well, like straight overhead. My right shoulder just locked almost instantly. Same here, like this is the first set at 90. But it just, man, I'm just very frustrated kind of like thinking back and looking at how the lifts were executed today. I don't feel like I earned this one. I don't feel like I earned all 10 reps today. I think that a lot of them were lucky. And I don't know if I've talked about this very recently, but I don't like the idea of it being lucky where I don't know what I did to make the lift. I ended up just making the lift. And that is not something I'm very proud of. One thing I was trying to think about today was holding the weight further in my hands. Like, I guess lifting with my hands. Like how you're gonna lift without your hands? That's stupid, right? But like specifically just trying to hold the weight in my hands so that I'm not really focusing too hard on like locking my shoulder blade in the right spot or whatever. And like for a lot of them, it did help. This is my first miss, and I'm standing here and I'm thinking, should I go again just right now because I feel like I can do it. And so I end up actually reattempting it and making it. So this is like one of the rare times when I would actually do that, where I would actually try to, after a miss, come back and make the rep in the same like set or whatever. That's not something I usually do because I feel like a lot of times the physical like exertion that I've put up to that point is probably a little bit too much to even try to come back and like reasonably, like wise decision wise, reattempt another rep altogether. Like that is very, 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 very stupid if I don't think I can make the lift, because then it opens myself up to a lot of opportunities for injury. And yeah, I just felt like I could do it. And yeah, I was happy that I was able to. And from there, it just kind of started to fall apart. I mean, I did make the next set like completely, but this one here was the one that I was like really like kind of figuring out like what went wrong here. And then I clarked this next one. So this is technically a fail. And I'm like, yeah, there's no shot I'm gonna be like okay, like mentally at this point. This is the one that I got really, really mad at, because like that's a lift I can make. I feel like I haven't really paused the video on that one. I didn't really want to watch it too much, because once I get really like into my head about what my technique looks like, there's like no amount of technical fixes for me that I could fix in that moment. So I was like, all right, like whatever. But I do think that my elbows were locked, and I feel like I was probably just below parallel. I feel like I was a little bit behind, but I think a lot of that might have just been my shoulder not really giving me the space to push up. And so that's kind of what happened on this first rep of this set, where I end up walking the bar forward, because if my shoulder doesn't lock out properly, then I'm going to have to walk forward. Like my shoulder is going to bias the lift a little bit further forward. Yeah, that makes sense? I hope so. So this is my last set where I make the 10th rep. So that was the 9th total rep overall. And then here is the 10th one. But yeah, man, I'm reliving this right now. It's very late in the night, and yeah, I feel like, why couldn't I just have lifted like this the whole time? Yeah. Oh, yes. Blake was about to leave, so I was like, "Hey, bro, you wanna stay and watch me make this last set? Because it's been a fucking shit show the whole day." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I'll do it." But did my snatch pulls after that at 100, which is the correct weight. This is also the weight that I was supposed to do for my overhead stuff at the beginning. I think my goal was to keep them together, so I don't know what I'm going to do next week. I will probably just do 105 for the overhead stuff next week, because 105 is not very heavy. I could do 2+1s. I think I could probably do a 120, 2+1. Maybe 125. I don't know. I think my best single is like 130, like 1+1. And so I can push on that for a very, very long time. I think one thing that I did not mention at all a single time today that might have been affecting it is I actually ran a mile yesterday. It's the first time I ran a mile in probably 4, maybe 5 years, maybe longer than that. It's been a long time, but I was recently inspired by someone pretty special to me. So yeah, I don't know. I might be a runner. Who knows? I might be the ultimate CrossFit athlete. Who knows? No, I know that I will not be, because CrossFit is hard. CrossFit is super hard. Did pull-ups with some power presses to finish off the day. And yeah, I mean, frustrated. I was just kind of frustrated for the entirety of today. But I feel like things are moving in the right direction. I was able to make all 10 reps and 90 today. So we're moving in the right direction. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.